Alright, I saw a video earlier this week that really kind of stuck in my head, and I want to wrap a couple concepts together and explain what is happening in our artificial reality. First concept I want to talk about is the human brain's inability to comprehend large numbers. We can easily comprehend numbers that are practically used in reality, typically from 1 to about 1,000,000. Our brain can understand pretty well. 1,000,000 might even be a little high to understand. One of the most popular ways to demonstrate this is with these images that show what $1,000,000,000,000 look. $100, $10,000, $1,000,000, and this over here is $100,000,000 is a stack the size of a human. Then you have $1,000,000,000, multiple stacks of that, and $1,000,000,000,000 is looks like that's a soccer field, because this obviously wasn't made in America, or else this would be a football field. It's a whole football field of these $100,000,000 stacks, and the human brain can't comprehend it. You see it, you think you can comprehend it, and you can't. We're going to play a little game to test this comprehension. All right, this is the Earth, this is the Moon. Where would we place the International Space Station on this little MS Paint diagram that I have created? Logically, people want to think International Space Station floating in space. You're probably going to think like here. Let's do a color and a brush, not a select. Like right here, maybe. Right here, right here, right here. Anywhere you want to think, go ahead, place your guess, and then I'll give you the answer. The answer is right here. That is where the International Space Station is. Right there. Now, the International Space Station is 254 miles away from Earth. The Moon is 238,000 miles. So if we take a calculator, let me open a calculator here, and we do 238, it's like 238,900 divided by 254, that's where the International Space Station is. That is 1/940th. That means we have to make 940 of these little marks before we get to the moon. I can't make 940 marks, so we are not going to do that. Now, we can do the same thing between the distance between an airplane flying above the Earth and the International Space Station. An airplane flies between like 5 and 7 miles above the Earth. So this line here, if we zoomed in enough, we'd have to draw another tiny little line to show the distance between an airplane and the International Space Station. The brain cannot comprehend this. Even me visualizing it, you understand the principles, but your brain isn't actually comprehending the distance. It's too big. The human brain was not designed to comprehend that. The human brain was designed to comprehend basic numbers. There's 10 zebra over there. Let's throw these spears at them and get one zebra to eat. That's where the brain can comprehend. And the human mind was also designed with tiny tribes in mind. Tribes of 100 to maybe even 1,000 people. But now we live in cities with millions of people, and that causes problems. Now that all changes when we go online. Now there's a concept called terminally online. People that are terminally online, their whole reality exists online. And since they can't comprehend large numbers, the reality is completely false. Now, the video I saw is this video. What are we doing to white people? This video has been blowing up. I don't know this guy. I just saw this video, and it was an interesting take. He's talking about what we're doing to white people. Online, there's a lot of white people hate, but there's also a lot of hate to every other group. Now, is this white people hate big enough to where it's real? Terminally online people, like this guy who is obviously terminally online, it is extremely real. The small percentage of people who only live on the internet and don't have much life outside of the internet are going to be able to see this. So let's just zoom in here. Let's do a couple examples, right? This white women chick here is being racist.
Behavior that's very common among white women. You may have not intended that, but there are many white women who act exactly like you.
So it's just a bunch of examples of people being openly racist against white people, and it would not fly for other races. Now, these are people that exist on the internet, and the internet contains, I don't know, 8 billion people on the planet have the potential to access the internet. And in the United States, it's, 320 million people in the United States? I'm assuming they're in the United States. Out of those 320 million, how many people have to make videos like that for it to be an actual problem that we need to consider? A million people making a video like that isn't even 1% of the US population. And if there was a million videos on the internet that gained traction, it would seem like the entire world is against white people. Now, if we take a look at a different race, like the Ku Klux Klan, used to be pretty prominent in the United States, and it was a problem. It was mostly eradicated. There's only a couple thousand bona fide Ku Klux Klan members still alive today. But online, that couple of thousand can make a far superior impact than their actual size represents. Now, we don't have to go with racism. We don't have to go with anything like that. We can go with something a little more humorous. This guy, his videos are hilarious.
Do you know when the U.S. was founded?
No.
Take a guess. Around when?
He just talks to people.
I do. That's crazy.
Pick up the United States.
How many?
Do you know how many continents there are?
No.
How many states make up the United States?
How many states make? Dude, I know this.
You know this.
I do. That's crazy. I don't want to do this shit.
Say a number. Say a number.
I don't know.
No, you do know this. You do know this.
Wrong time.
Do you know who the president is right now?
Joe Biden.
Do you know who the vice president is right now?
The black lady.
He goes around asking these people, these younger people, basic questions that they should know, but they don't. So this is a skewed sample size. How many people do you think, if you asked who the current president would know is? Or how many people in the United States, if you asked how many states are in the United States, how many do you think would actually know? If you watch this video, you get the false representation that it would be like, I don't know, 20% of people actually know, 50% of people actually know. In reality, it's probably like 90 to 99% of people know how many states are in the United States. But if you ask 10,000 people this question, eventually you're going to get idiots that you can make videos of. And that's assuming these videos are even real. Online is not reality. That's the premise of this video. And it's super easy to create a false sense of reality if you're terminally online because of the brain's inability to comprehend large numbers. These two problems, when you combine them together, the inability to comprehend large numbers with the accessibility of online, making those large numbers even more invisible to the human brain, makes it very difficult to get a firm grasp on reality. And terminally online people do not have a firm grasp of reality. You see these people on Twitter losing their minds about several different things. They've lost touch with reality. And there's a phrase called "go touch grass," and people are referring that to people that have been online too long and they're losing the grasp of reality. Now, for every one of these retards, you get a beautiful man like Michael Malice. Michael Malice is, I enjoy Michael Malice. I don't know what you would call him. He just released his book, The White Pill. He's a very fascinating guy. He's probably above average in intelligence and well above average in knowledge. So he's on Cash Cab several years ago.
Am I finished asking? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. George W. Bush was the most searched politician on Yahoo in 2006. Name 5 of the remaining 7 politicos. Go.
Giuliani, McCain, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, John Edwards, John Kerry, Nancy Pelosi, Dennis Hastert, Bill Frist, Harry Reid, Mitch McConnell, Jeb Bush,
so far.
Gerald Ford, Ronald Reagan, Nancy Reagan, Betty Ford, Gorbachev, Thatcher, Tony Blair, Angela Merkel. That's not all of them. Bloomberg, Mayor Bloomberg, Bill Clinton.
5 seconds.
Schwarzenegger.
Need one more.
Schwarzenegger.
You got it, Schwarzenegger!
So that's Michael Malice, just enlisting a bunch of people, most of which a large percentage of the population do not know. So for every one of these idiots, there's one of these brilliant people. These people exist on the outliers of society. So you can search hard to find morons. You can search hard to find genius people. There's another TV program called Jeopardy. And there's a difference between genius and knowledge. But the people on Jeopardy collect a lot of knowledge. You got Ken Jennings, who is extremely popular. They exist outside of like the standard distribution of human knowledge. They're on the far right and the far left, assuming there's a one side and the other. I don't want to say right and left because then people think I'm talking about politics. But Michael Malice would be on the knowledgeable side, and this chick here would be on the unknowledgeable side. And this video can skew the global consciousness of how much knowledge people have in this world. And it all comes back down to the fact that the human brain is unable to comprehend large numbers. So when you take the brain's inability to comprehend large numbers and terminally online people and you put them together, it's a pure disaster. Now, they used to teach this kind of thing in high school, the incomprehensibility of numbers. We even did this in my science class with the International Space Station. That's why I bring it up. And this type of thing, I think, can be easily combated if people are just taught this at an early age. And I'm not sure high schools are teaching this anymore, and I'm not sure people actually understand this concept. So hopefully when you watch this video, it will help ground you when you see something like, what are we doing to white people, and listening to these people talk racist shit against white people, or vice versa, seeing people talk racist against black or Asians, and you'll understand that that is a very small subset of the actual population. Now, a good way to check this is in your real life, not friend of a friend. How many times in your real life have you seen people discriminating against particular people? How many times have you actually seen real life discrimination? I'm not talking any bullshit microaggression where people are making up discrimination, legitimate discrimination. How many times have you seen that in your real life? In your real life, you're probably only engaging with 100 to 1,000 people in your social circle. Most people are even less than 100, 20 to 50 people in your actual real life social circle. And then the expanded social circle is probably in the thousands. Now, out of those, how many people are you seeing that actually fit this this example of people being racist to white people, or this example of people being really stupid? Like, how many stupid people, stupid's the wrong word, how many ignorant, unknowledgeable people do you actually know in real life? So online, the internet is not reality, because it takes the largest amount of population and condenses it into a single clip that you watched, pulling a sample out of millions of people and trying to generalize that one sample out of millions of people to the whole population. Now, imagine if all you watched was NBA basketball games. That's all you watched. You would think that the average height of a person would be like 6'6", 6'5", because that's like the average height of a basketball player. Actually, let's Google average height of a basketball player. Average height of a basketball player. I don't even know how to read this. Average height in America is 5'9". Oh, 6'6". That's about what I said. Average height of an NBA player is 6'6". Now, the average height, only 1% of the population is 6'6". Less than 1% is 6'6". I don't know the exact number, but it's a tiny fraction of the U.S. population that is tall enough to be an NBA player. And it's a tiny fraction of the U.S. population that is dumb enough to make it on this video. And by dumb, I mean ignorant, unknowledgeable. And it's a tiny fraction of the U.S. population that is going to be that's going to openly be racist against white people and put it on the internet. And it's a tiny fraction of the population that's going to be able to go on Cash Cab and kill it like Michael Malice is. like Michael Malice does. This is the problem that if we don't fix as a society, the more and more that people are terminally online, the more and more brains and realities are going to fracture. People are going to live in a fake reality. They're basically living in the Matrix. To get all Andrew Tate on this, people are living in the Matrix. It's nothing nefarious. It's just that their brain cannot comprehend that online is not reality. And then when you see something online, you're seeing a tiny subset of reality. And you can't expand that subset into a larger scope. You can't reach into a bag of 1 billion jelly beans and pull out a red one, taste it, see that it tastes like strawberry, and then just assume that all jelly beans are strawberries. Human brain can't handle it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Check you later.